fascinating, isn't it? How the mind can sometimes create these beliefs, these little stories or emotions that become something to fear, something that might spiral out of control, something we think could make us appear weak or fragile. It's almost as if the mind is telling us that holding everything inside is a kind of strength, a kind of shield to protect us from the chaos that we might feel if we let go, if we let those emotions flow freely. And I wonder what would happen if those feelings didn't have to spiral out of control. What if you could feel deeply, experience all the richness that emotions bring, without them taking over? What if those emotions could become something that adds to your experience, something that enhances the richness of who you are, instead of something you have to control, to bottle up or hide away? Just imagine for a moment what it would be like to express yourself in a way that feels natural, a way that draws people in, that captivates them, making you someone people can't forget, someone people look to for inspiration, someone who stands out in the crowd, full of life and energy. Now picture the times in your life when you've been at your most memorable. Not when you were trying to hide what you felt, but when you were fully present, what was going on inside of you. Maybe it was a time you laughed so freely, so loudly, that you couldn't help but draw attention from everyone around you. Or perhaps it was the moment that you were so moved by something, so deeply touched, you couldn't help but show it, letting others see that raw, vulnerable side of you. How did that feel? Did you notice how the energy shifted when you were in that moment of the full expression? And now think for a moment about how much more powerful the kind of openness could make you. When emotions flow freely, there's nothing to hide, nothing to keep locked away. There's just you, fully alive, fully present, fully you. People, they're drawn to that kind of authenticity. They want to be around those who are unapologetically themselves, who allow their emotions to shine through, because they create a kind of connection, a kind of magnetism that can't be faked. And you can be that person effortlessly. Because what if, just what if, those people you thought of as weak or unrefined, the ones who express themselves without holding back, what if they're actually just more in touch with themselves than most people? What if they've unlocked something that makes them unforgettable? Something that allows them to feel alive in a way that others might miss out on, because they're too busy trying to stay in control all the time. Imagine the possibility for a moment of finding a new balance. The balance between control and freedom. The balance where you have the power to express yourself without fear, without worry about spiraling out of control. The balance where you can feel deeply and fully, but still have the awareness to know when to step back, when to shift, when to refocus. That balance makes you feel strong, powerful, alive, and dare I say it, more in control than ever before. Because true control is not the suppression of emotions. True control is the mastery of knowing when to let them flow and when to harness them. And in allowing yourself to express your emotions, you're not only gaining strength, but you're actually creating more of what you desire. Connection, engagement, excitement. People, they'll remember you, not for how stoic you were, but for how alive you were, how you shared your authentic self with them in the most unexpected, delightful ways. They'll remember the way your emotions spark conversations, bring warmth, create real moments of connection. So as we move forward, it's not about controlling your emotions to the point where you don't feel them at all, but about finding this beautiful rhythm where they can come, be felt, be experienced, and then flow freely. And in doing so, you might notice a shift, a transformation, where control is not the absence of emotion, but the mastery of it. It's no longer about being afraid of emotions spiraling out of control, but rather being empowered to experience and express them with confidence, knowing that you, and only you, are in charge of how they show up in your life. And as you continue to explore this, you may find yourself becoming more alive, more vibrant, more engaging, and with each step creating a new story, one where you're not just remembered as someone who was stoic, controlled, distant, but as someone who was fascinating, dynamic and unforgettable. A person who wasn't afraid to show the depth of their emotions, and who in doing so became more of who they truly are. Because it's amazing how the mind works, how at times it can create these protective beliefs, these little stories that keep us in check, that keep us in control, and yet at the same time, it's almost as though there's a subtle part of you that wonders what it might be like to let go, to allow something different to unfold, a sense of curiosity, a longing perhaps, that quietly whispers, what if I could feel it all and still stay in control? What if I could embrace those emotions, not as something to be feared or avoided, but as a source of strength, vitality and connection? And in that very moment, when you think about it, something begins to shift. There's a sense of ease that flows through you, as if the boundaries that were once so rigid and unyielding, they start to soften. Picture yourself now standing at the edge of a vast ocean, calm, serene and vast, and yet alive with possibility. The waves, they rise and fall, ebb and flow, and you're fully present with each wave, fully in tune with the rhythm of the ocean. There's no fear of being swept away, because the waves, they're simply part of the whole, part of the dance of the ocean, part of the beauty of it all. And in this moment, there's no need to hold anything back. Your emotions, like the waves, they can rise and fall, yet you remain anchored in your strength. They come, they go, and each time they arrive, you feel a deeper connection to yourself, to others, to the world around you. You realize the more you allow these waves of emotion to move through you, the more grounded you become, the more you're able to feel fully alive and present. Isn't it interesting how when you let go of the fear of losing control, you don't actually lose control at all. Instead, you find a deeper, richer sense of mastery, where the control, it isn't about keeping everything tightly bound, but about the effortless flow of energy, the flow of life. Each emotion, each feeling becomes a signal, a guidepost, a messenger of your deepest truth. And what's incredible is, the more you embrace it, the more you realize this energy, this emotional flow, it is the very thing that makes you unforgettable. So imagine, just for a moment, you could step into a room, and without even saying a word, your presence would captivate everyone there. You'd have that sense of depth, of richness, of connection. And as people see you, they sense something different, something magnetic, something that feels authentic and real. They're drawn to your energy, because it's not just surface level, it's vibrant, it's alive. They can feel you're in tune with yourself, with your emotions, with your truth. They sense you're not holding back, and that in itself is magnetic. You've become unforgettable, not because you're perfect, but because you're fully alive, fully expressive, fully real. The very act of expressing yourself becomes a gift, not just to yourself, but to those around you. It's like lighting a spark in others, inspiring them to do the same, to let go of their own barriers, to feel their own emotions without fear. And as they do, you're creating a ripple effect, one where emotions are no longer something to control, but something to embrace. Imagine being the catalyst for that change, the one who shows others that they can feel deeply, that they can express fully, and still remain powerful, poised and grounded. And just think about how that would feel. The fear of being weak or unrefined, the belief that showing emotions can make you less in control. Those beliefs, they begin to fade, like mist in the morning sun, and you start to see the true strength is in feeling it all, in being able to express fully and freely, in being in touch with your emotions without fear of them overwhelming you. It's not about holding back, but about finding the rhythm, the flow, the balance between deep feeling and conscious expression. It's knowing you can feel everything, and still being in control of how to channel it, how to share it with the world. And as you move through life, you'll find each moment becomes more vivid, more meaningful, because you've unlocked the power of your emotions. Each conversation becomes richer, more engaging. People notice the difference, the depth, the passion in your presence. They remember you. not because you tried to be something you're not, but because you are fully present in who you are. And in doing so, you've become unforgettable. So now, as you walk through life, you carry with you the realization that control is not about holding back or suppressing. Control is about being able to choose when and how to express yourself, to allow those emotions to flow when they're needed, and to remain grounded, centered, and powerful in the process. Feel a sense of freedom in knowing you no longer need to fear your emotions. You've the ability to let them be what they are, expressed, fully experienced, and yet never out of control. They're your strength, a source of connection, a source of vitality. And the more you allow them to flow through you, the more you expand, the more you grow, and the more you become the person you've always wanted to be. Someone who's not just remembered, but who's revered for the authenticity, the vibrancy, the aliveness that you bring into the world.